he's kind of like our like marketing guy, I guess you could say. Like he does all of our like promotion and stuff. So he he was talking about TikTok, and he's like, "Yo, like we got to get on TikTok. Like I don't see any bands on here, and I know that they have like an organic reach. Because like Instagram and Facebook have been like really difficult for bands and artists to grow, just because they garnish and take away from
Yeah.
your stream. So he's like, "Yo, we got to hit TikTok first." So we jumped on there, and we noticed there wasn't a lot of bands like or anything. So he just started posting a lot of videos, and then we got in touch with like this guy that does like TikTok promotional techniques and strategies. So like we worked with him, and then yeah, Josh has just been going hard on it, and I'm starting to see a lot more bands show up on there. And before you know it, it'll be bands everywhere. But yeah, Josh is just going to town on all these new videos, and we still got a bunch that we got to put together for everything coming up. So it's just been a roller coaster.
Yeah, Josh does seem a bit of a magician. I watched quite a lot of the TikToks today, and I think it's. I know a few friends that are in bands that are using it now as a marketing tool. So I think it's. I think it's going to be the way to go for it because, like you say, Facebook's algorithm and Instagram and all that. It's not great for bands, is it?
Yeah, it's.
So Morris as a song, I know it's definitely a fan favourite. What would you like to say about it?
Yeah. So Moros is. Let me get. I have all the lyrics like getting set up
I
here.
love that. That is what we deep dive for.
Go through this together. I'm not trying to.
No,
have
let's do
anything.
it. I love that.
So I know Moros was like one of the first songs that like I had contributed with the band about like mental health, and that'll actually play a big role in what we're focusing on for our next release here. But yeah, I know that I personally had gone through a few pretty deep episodes and stuff in that subject, so I wanted to definitely bring light to that with some of these lyrics. Um, yeah, definitely. I
That
remember we got together with Joey Sturgis, producer for this material, and I know that we set out for every single for this. This ended up being an EP, Hallowed Spirit, Violent Divide. I understand like when we went into that, every song was kind of like our like let's just put it all out there. Let's really try and make something of this because we're working with a bigger producer now, and we really want to try and hopefully get picked up by a label, and let's just treat every song like a single. So I remember this song in particular, it was just like, all right, like let's try not to hold back. Let's really dive in with the mental health awareness and really trying to talk. Like there's a lyric where I say, I thought about killing myself to feel closer to you. Like there really isn't any like poetic background to that. It's just like straightforward, like this is what it's about. This is where I'm at. I'm stuck inside this hole in my head. I'm like in this place, and I'm just going to try and be as transparent as I can to hopefully reach people on a genuine level, I think.
and I will tell you, certainly you do that. There's a few Conviction songs personally, because I was having a listen back the other day that affect me probably like no other band. So that is something that I truly love about your band, and I think especially with like songs like The Storm Will Pass and Voices and everything like that. I think it's your kind of it's your sound, and yeah, I can't wait to hear the new album. And everyone's just got to applaud honesty, because especially nowadays it's a real problem for literally it's global, the mental health issue. So this is Moros, everybody. I hope the delay isn't too bad on your end, Mike, but enjoy everyone, and then we'll go on to House of Lies afterwards.
Cool, thank you.
If no one's heard Convictions before, let me know what you think. Let Mike know. Have you got any questions? First for Rob, love it.
Man, this whole Twitch thing is awesome. I might have to get on.
Oh, please do, dude.
This is a whole different thing for me, man. The glass break. This video is pretty cool too. We filmed it at a church. The performance, like literally, like
I'll pause the song if you have, just so people can hear it. Yeah, there's a few videos, if I remember, from this EP that were absolutely amazing. Like Dahlia, that was the video for that was absolutely amazing. It was like the first video I remember that was being in like 60 frames a second. It just looked really smooth.
yeah, that video is funny. We had a lot of interesting comments on the frame rate because that was when like John had recently just started getting into making videos, so he's doing a lot of experimenting. Yeah, a lot of those videos were like pretty DIY. The video for Sharks was really cool. That's probably one of my personal favorites off that EP, and well, music videos as a whole. But that was filmed by our buddy David. He's like from like Puerto Rico, and he would fly in, and we would set up as much. We do like usually like 2 or 3 videos like per flight, just to try and cut down on costs because it's all DIY basically. But yeah, he's done a few videos for us. He's a cool dude.
Rob asks, "What's Joey's vocal booth sessions like?"
So, for I have a funny story actually for this. For this EP, when we were working with Joey, it was kind of interesting. Like we were sent to a studio up in Michigan, which is about an hour or so from me, and Joey was there working on Amir's record at the time and Crown the Empire, I believe. And we were like one of 3 bands that he was just kind of juggling all in this I don't know, the setup here. So that was crazy because I remember we met Joey and we went over our plans for this this EP, and then he kind of I think he was busy with other projects, and we were like so small at the time, so it was just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna help you guys, I'm gonna produce you, so I'm gonna send you over to my engineers. And there was like 5 or 6 guys like working. It was nuts. I've never had that experience since. It was like a guy just for drums, a guy just for guitars, a guy recording me. It was pretty nuts. But when I was tracking these songs, I was in a vocal booth with a glass window, and then there was a live room in front of me. And then on the other side of that was another glass divider for another vocal booth. So I was recording my vocals looking literally head on with Frankie from a mirror. So we're basically like screaming at each other,
Wow.
looking at him, and he's screaming and I'm screaming. Like I don't know if you could see me, but I was looking and I was like, this is insane. Like I loved Amir since like high school, and I'm like 10 years later, so like looking at him screaming while he's screaming and tracking his song. So it was kind of funny. We ended up doing a like crowd vocal thing for one of their songs too. Like it was really cool. We got to meet them, and they're really nice.
Amazing. That is a great story. Ginger Ninja asks, "How did you come to join Convictions?"
Yeah, so this is about 2013. I had been in another local band called Arson Our Savior, and we actually had a music video on YouTube you could probably find called Black Diamonds. But I was doing local shows in the Toledo, Ohio area, and Josh had his own band, and I had known Zach, our drummer, for quite some time because his band would play with my band throughout the area, and so we had known of each other. I actually auditioned for Zach's old band called Run Into the Shadows. Yeah, we knew each other, and they had lost their vocalist after they had done their like first national tour. They had like just formed too. It was pretty nuts. Zach had called me one night, and he's like, "Hey man, like I want to tell you about this project Josh and I are working on. We are thinking about either scrapping Convictions and just starting a new band with you, or we'd love to have you audition for Convictions." And I was like, "Oh man, like I I've always wanted to be in a Christian band, and I was just becoming a Christian at the time. I will become, and I was like, well, screw it. Like, I want to be. I'd rather join Convictions. Like, they have the message and the heart and everything that I want, and they're also like pretty well on their way. They just did a national tour, so I figured I'd audition for that.
That's an amazing story. We'll carry on with Moros. Let me know what you think, everyone, if you've never heard Convictions. It always gets me.
I love playing this live. That "This Is My Resurrection" part is a really cool crowd chant. Like, a lot of times we'll actually stop our backtrack so we can just do it raw.
Yeah,
I'll like hold it out.
I absolutely love the O Sleeper section as well. It's just a perfectly crafted breakdown. Amazing.
Yeah, we actually pull a lot of scripture from this one too, which is cool. That's actually biblical. And then it followed up with "Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed." That's my favorite scripture. That's Isaiah 41:10.
Attention to detail is so good.
Thank you.
That's the fan loved and TikTok famous Moros there by Convictions. Up next, Mike, we've got House of Lies, which I think is another absolutely like monumental track for you as a band. What are your thoughts on this song?
Yeah, this song is pretty important for our band. We've met a lot of people that have shared their personal stories, with dealing with their struggles with, pornography and lust. And I had known going into it, this was going to be a challenge, like, to try and be honest, this isn't necessarily something you want to talk about, like there's lyrics and stuff like talking about keeping this a secret, like, you don't really want to like go out in the open and talk about like some of your personal struggles on that level. I feel like it's easy to be like, oh, like I struggle with drinking or I struggle with whatever, but like, when you're talking about lust and, especially a lot of men like who have like pornography addictions and stuff like that, it's not necessarily like something you can just solve overnight, and be like, okay, like I'm done with it. Like it's a lot of guys' problems and women's problem as well too. So it was definitely touchy because weren't sure, like, is this going to be too sensitive? Like, there's even a lyric where it's like, will I fulfill these slutty fantasies in my head? Like, that's like a touchy word. And, it's like, we're this Christian band, we're trying to keep it clean and stuff. But at the same time, the goal of Convictions is to talk about subjects and go on into a deeper level of issues that most typical Christian bands won't, or even secular bands. So this one was a tough one. I was like, man, I don't know if I really want to talk about this. Like, this is it's not just personal for me, but this is one of. But then, like, the irony of it is, like, me having to have that thought of, like, ooh, I don't know, is exactly why we should write it. It's like, that's like why we write. Like, we want to talk about those difficult things. So if I had that question, like, ooh, I don't know, then it's perfect.
Absolutely. This is House of Lies, everyone. Let me know what you think. Keep the chat moving.
And twist. Oh, what a mess my portrait has become. What will I become? What will I become? My desire for love is tainted. How am I the picture you painted? My canvas is nasty. My colors are disgusting. It's haunting me. I'm so terrified that I won't break free. It follows me, follows me. Search for your dictions, are you tuning me? Corrupting corrodes my true reflections. What kind of gentleman possesses these intentions? Do I need filthy afflictions? Will I ever look at a woman? Repeat not again. Or will I fulfill these slutty fantasies in my name? Am I imprisoned in this never-ending sin? Free me from my lust. Restore my innocence. I was born into a world of sin. Bring us in to let these voices in. It's haunting me. I'm so terrified that I won't break free. It follows me, follows me. Search for your addictions, are you tuning me? It's following me to the point of breaking. My body and soul is yours for the taking. She is my home. The house of lust kept me warm at night. I open my eyes. The house of lust was a house of lust. She is my home. The house of lust kept me warm at.
I'll just pause to do a few of these questions. So, Ginger Ninja asked, did any scripture come to mind when you were writing this song?
That is a good question. I have the lyrics just pulled up in front of me just so that we're not missing anything.
I love it.
Let's see here.
I agree. The bridge is the best part of the song, definitely.
Okay, so I don't necessarily like, just looking at it right now, I'm not seeing too, like, really any scriptures, but I am seeing, obviously, like, call outs to God. Like, there's like saying, like, earthly addictions is something you'd hear in the church. And obviously this is all being directed towards God. Like pretty much every song is pretty much like a call out to God. So, it's saying, like, it's basically addressing, like, how can I become a man of God? when I'm having this struggle. So if I'm having this conversation, with God, and God, in my mind, I have these high expectations of fulfilling this new standard of living and this new, level of being a man of God, then I have to give this up. How am I going to do this? So the whole song is basically just kind of like challenging myself, or the writer, and taking that on. So it's definitely more of a one-on-one God than less than like quoting scriptures.
Yeah, and Rob asks, what's the writing process like? Lyrics written to song instructions or all at the same time? Which is another good question.
What's the writing process like? Lyrics written to song structures? Okay. It's different. Typically, and especially like more presently, I'll go through the writing process with Josh. Everything's done over usually like FaceTime. He'll have a song demoed out for me, and him and I will go back and forth on riffs and structure. From there, the lyrics will follow through. I forgot the word for that. I was actually watching this composer, and he was talking about that process. Like everybody does it different. There's definitely been songs where like we've kind of built them as they go, but typically it's structured out. But before Josh will write his composition, I'll come to him with like a theme or topic, and we'll have a discussion on what kind of mood and atmosphere we want to put together to build this out.
That's. Would you say I Will Become is the flip side of Hallowed Spirit, Violent Divide? I noticed a lot of callbacks on that record. That's changing Ninja.
No, it would probably be the flip side of I Am Nothing. But yeah, we typically will do callbacks to our older material. It's just kind of like something we like to do, like Easter eggs, and see if people can catch it. But a lot of times when we're doing that, we're actually like answering a question we may have had in another song or building off of it. So it's like not forced.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is the rest of House of Lies. Thank you for the bits, Kate. I love that ending so much. So good, so powerful as well. Up next is another one that was actually requested before I decided people really wanted to hear your take on Clouded Mind. So we've got that up next.
Cool. Let's go.
Yeah. So Clouded Mind, where are you at with that one? A lyrical songwriting, any stories you had when recording it?
Man, we're gonna take a little trip down memory lane. I gotta pull these lyrics up. I want to do this right.
I love it. Stick into the deep dive.
Yeah, this song actually, we didn't play live too much. I know that I wasn't really a fan of playing it live. Not necessarily because I didn't like the song, but it was because of it's not maybe necessarily as showy. Like, oh, breakdown. Here comes Mosh, and then like it was more of a atmosphere to it, and it took a bit to grow on me. Actually, it was actually before we did our last tour, before COVID, we decided we wanted to play a few songs off of every release. So this song came into the fold, and I remember listening to it for the first time after like 3 years or so, because we only played it live for like maybe a year. It was pretty strange because I was listening to it and it felt like it was the first time I ever heard it. I was like, whoa, I don't even remember these lyrics. Like, whoa. And I was like, this is actually really good. And then I was talking to Josh at the gym, I remember, and I was like, man, like this is cool. Yeah, we should definitely play this again. I don't know what I was thinking before. It's just it's just a little more moody, like especially like with the let your grace rain down on me. Like that whole part, it's a little more poetic and, dare I say, spoken wordy. So it's like a lot of different elements that we don't really focus on performing live. Like we love to worship and be emotional and like hold back with our dynamics of our live performance, but sometimes and in some tours, like it's just kind of like go 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 go, hit them hard, like hit them in the feels and then hit them hard again. Like there's not a lot of
I can tell you from that show you did when you played Leeds and we spoke for a long time, you definitely did that to me. It was breakdowns and then trying not to cry. And I think that's your niche. I think every song is so emotional. It is always hitting those tough topics for people to speak about. So I just think it's your forte and it's perfect. So yeah, this is Clouded Mind. Everyone enjoy. David, thank you very much for the raid, sir. You're right, this section is so cool.
This is the
I have a funny story for that too.
your grace rain down on me. Let you alone be enough for me. Enough for me. I'm begging for a place where you take my pain away.
That's part of the song. I agree. Again,
I have a funny story about that part.
a funny story. Let's hear
Yeah.
it. Let's hear it, buddy.
So, if you're familiar with Brothers Blood, we have our buddy Rory from Dayseeker on there, and we had him do guest vocals on there, and we had used his previous lyrics and kind of literally plugged in their old lyrics into that song, and then we kind of had a conversation back and forth off of that. We were going to do that again for this song. We actually were talking with Garrett from Silent Planet, and we were gonna plug in some of their old lyrics and like have a conversation back and forth. Obviously, like, we were super cool about it. Like, we stayed cool afterwards and everything. It was just it wasn't really like the direction they wanted to go in, I remember, which is totally cool. That's a lot to ask somebody to take their lyrics out of context and put in a different song. But we were like so close to like making that happen for that part, and it would have been cool, or at least written something different. But it's kind of funny, like when you listen to that part, you can kind of hear like almost, it sounds to me like a very Silent Planet-y kind of like section.
It definitely does. It's almost like you're in space, and it's very ambient. It's that kind of, yeah. Now you've said that even more so. You can definitely hear that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny to me. Like we left those parts, some of those parts open, like the back and forth parts. So I actually had to we left that studio after, we were done with our session, so I had to go back home and record with a friend the response parts. And so we read a new part, and it was kind of funny too, because my vocals had completely healed, so I was screaming and it almost sounded like a completely different person. And the irony of it too is like I am kind of having a conversation with myself, like back and forth. It's like let your grace rain down, and then it's like I've never felt this low. So it's like kind of like I'm talking to God, and like almost like a voice is coming back at me, and it's myself. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Like, it's kind of funny how that all panned out. And like we used like a rain sample over it because it's like Rain on Me and stuff like that. So there was a lot.
You say this is why I love Deep Dive. I love how music is so much more than what you just hear on the surface, and like that little story there, it all kind of pieces everything together. What we've just heard, I just love it. This is the rest of Clouded Mind.
I cast these burdens upon you, Lord. You will sustain me. I will not be tainted.
Those vocals, you're a fan. They're powerful, aren't they? That was Clouded Mind, and I think it was Ninja actually that requested that. I'm really glad you requested that, because that is a different song to put in like a quick Convictions deep dive. So up next, I know you spoke to my friend as well when you were over here, Phil. This is one of his favourite songs. He even got it tattooed.
Yeah.
So this song is I don't even know how to explain this. This song always, even every time I know what's coming, it always catches me off. I think it's easily one of your most emotional and like raw songs you've ever made. So what are your thoughts and the whole process on The Storm Will Pass?
Yeah, let me pull that up. I have lots of stories for that one.
I bet.
Let me pull it up really quick here. I just want to make sure I have the lyrics in front of me so everything is handled appropriately.
Yeah, I didn't even mention it's featuring Chris from Light Moth to Flames, which is an amazing feature.
Yeah, I was going to add to that. Um, so I had like a I don't want to say hate, but like a love hate relationship with this song. I wish we had more time with it. Um, a lot of this record was, I mean, this record, the whole record was done in about a month. So I wish I had, we crammed a lot of songs in a short amount of time. So this is like one of those songs where I'm like, oh, we were, like if I just had a little more time with it, but like obviously that's not fair to say. Like people like Phil, you know, have a strong connection with it, and they would probably hate me if I changed something in it. So it's kind of one of those things you just got to leave be.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one was a lot of fun to do. I love how I was able to be like super aggressive in the beginning, and I got to have a lot of fun with like some of the writing, like play on words, and I got one of my favorite lyrics out of this too, which is like "Redeem me, Redeemer." It's so simple, but
Yeah, it's a powerful line. Yeah.
um, but yeah, this was a lot of fun to put together. I had toured with Chris, like most of the Flames, a couple of years before we put this song together, and man, that tour was incredible, and they were such nice guys, and they really helped us out a lot because that was the time when we had our van and trailer stolen. So that was really cool just to be right on that tour right after that whole episode happened, and they made sure to take care of us and make sure everything was looked after for us. Really nice people, really nice people. And Chris, he lives in Ohio, which is where I'm from, and he also lives in Columbus, which is where we were recording this record. And I believe it was Zach that like hit him up. He's like, "Hey man, like we're in the studio, love to have you pop by. Like maybe we can get you on a feature." And man, Chris was super cool. It was crazy too because I had already written out his feature, his lyrics, and how I heard them, and I think I recorded a scratch. I'm pretty sure, but man, it was weird because this is like I used to listen like a Graceful and stuff like that. So I'm a bit of a fan, and it's kind of like stepping out of that like friendship or fandom and being professional. So it was really strange because I had been behind the mixing board, and Chris was in the vocal booth, and I was like, okay, like turn off the goofy, like
Yeah.
don't be a weirdo, I was like, so just like that, I was like, okay, this is how I want you to do it. This is how I would do it if I were you. This is what I hear you doing. And I was like, this is an example. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. Now let's go back. Like I was just like super hands on, and it was really strange. It was like kind of like this outer body thing where I was like, what am I doing right now? Like I'm just like dude who's clearly like far more seasoned than I am, how to do his job basically in a constructive, positive way. But yeah, he was super cool and he crushed it. And the thing that is like super crazy is that he did his screaming parts before he even sang, which is like totally unheard of. Like you would never want. I don't know why you'd ever do that because you could mess up your singing voice. But this dude's a machine. He just did it like really fast, really good. Like everything was right on point.
He
He
is a machine, and he's definitely one of the best in the business. And he's also, I've only met him for a very short time, but a very lovely guy.
Yeah.
So everybody enjoy. This is definitely a favourite of mine, and I know quite a few people. This is, Lisa, I'm looking at you. I think you're going to like this one a lot. Also, hello Steve, hello Dariv, welcome. This is the song Will Pass by Convictions. That's a great comment, Chris. I love that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a big part of my style, I guess. When I first started screaming,
Yeah.
half my
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of clarity to your voice. You hear every single word.
that's yeah, for the most part. When I was first learning how to scream and when I was screaming for a band, I my first band, they were like, "We can't understand anything you're saying." I love Norma Jean. I was like, "Well, maybe I could go for something like that," which is
Yeah, Norma Jean's kind of on the. I also love Norma Jean, but it's kind of on the other spectrum of kind of being. The vocals is more
like
like an instrument.
right.
It's noise, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember taking some beatings in my early days, and my first band, they were like, we really want you to, we want to understand what you're saying, and we really want to hear every word and stuff. So I totally switched my style like right then and there, and was like really trying to figure out how to get the diction and syllables and everything on point, super proper sounding, so that like if I write something that means something to me, I want you to hear it, and I want you to take something from it instead of an instrument.
Yeah, I love that, and you definitely can, 100%. I personally think even if you're a newcomer listening to Convictions for the first time, you're gonna hear pretty much every lyric, which I think is something special to your style and your vocal delivery. So yeah, I love it, and also just the little teaser that you've released for the new single. The clarity in like every single word, just in that, I don't even know how long it is, 8 seconds. You already know what you're going to get from that track. So I'll play the teaser right at the end, everyone, but get excited. Yeah, this is The Storm Will Pass. So this is The Storm Will Pass, Kate. Those lyrics, man. There you go, quick to the point, absolute masterpiece. John is an amazing singer. I do love John. I think John had a great clarity in his voice as well. That just like you still do now, of course, but you're very good. You're perfect on the vocal front. I think what makes metalcore great is, you know, the dynamics between both vocal styles, and I think regardless of both of your melodic singers that you've had, it's just something that you is that something you always, you know, look to strive to hit instantly?
Yeah, I love, you know, I'm a big fan of clean vocals. Because all I know is like screaming and yelling. It's like there's that whole singing world that I'm just so eager to be a part of, and I'm like, I'll leave it to the people that know what they're doing. But that's definitely something I've been working on, like really trying to like expand my range. And I feel I have. I'm really excited for this new stuff. Like I feel like you guys don't even know.
Oh, I don't know, but I feel I do know just from the teaser, and I think everybody else will know what's about to come. It's amazing. So up next we have another. I think this is also a stalwart now of a Conviction set list. Well, maybe not with when the new album and we can actually tour again. Deceptive Heart is up next. What was the? Have you got anything interesting story wise or lyric wise for this song? Because this was one of the main singles for the album release, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So, you know, I don't want to air out too much dirty laundry here.
Yeah.
I had gone through a really big breakup, and at the point of writing this song, I was pretty much like content with where I was at, but it was still pretty fresh, and the wounds were pretty still like I don't know, they're still like visible like for me. Like I was still like still trying to handle this, and I remember writing some of these lyrics as it was going on, like you know, like broken hearts and states apart. You left me when I was across the ocean. Like that's a literal thing. Like I had been overseas, and you know, it was really challenging actually. Like I was like on the other side of the world, and I felt like this relationship that I thought this is the person I'm going to marry. Like it was just like a lot to handle, and I was like, I should just write about this. And I have a forgiving heart. Like I know where I'm at now. Like I'm happy, and I wouldn't change a thing. But I don't know. I just really wanted to try and write from like a real place in my heart and like how I felt, and be open and transparent about some of those negative emotions. Just part of being human. Not to be spiteful, but it was more so like I let this relationship consume me, and I like kind of lost sight of myself. So it was like there's parts where it's like I smell like love, and I'm like, this is gonna be death to me. This will always be my agony. It was just kind of like a facing myself and trying to change myself in the way I view the whole situation, and trying to, I don't know, come to terms with it. And I thought writing about it would be like a therapeutic thing, and maybe other people may find find something in it that may help them. And what was cool is like a lot of people did. A lot of people were like, man, like this really, like I had guys that were like going through like real relationship troubles where like it's not just a girlfriend or something, like this is like their wife, you know, and these dudes were like, man, I'm going through divorce. Like, I'm really happy I had this song. Like, it just helps me kind of vent out some of those negative emotions. And, you know, I'm happy you guys did that. And I was like, wow, like that puts it into perspective. Like this person is like, you know, changing their entire lives, and they are finding something that helps them make that transition. So
yeah, I think a lot of, especially your music, is cathartic, isn't it? And a lot of people can draw their own conclusions from either a song meaning or lyrics. So I think, again, that's what makes you guys so good. So yeah, this is Deceptive Heart. I think if you I was talking to Mike earlier about when Convictions won Sunday Metal Sunday on Dav's stream. I think this was the song that won you it, I think, if I remember. So enjoy, everyone. This is Deceptive Heart. It's a big heavy one.
Forever enslaved, unable back to the same. I won't let you consume me, so don't say you're
I think it's funny. Josh is like just figuring out his new guitar direction with this song, with the crazy effects and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he was totally like changing his sound and the way he plays, and now that he has his new sound for the new material,
Yeah.
he it's kind of funny like seeing where it started. And I remember when he did that like crazy like echo thing, that wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is really different. Like I really like what you're doing here. You should explore this more. And I think he was like, well, this is kind of like that one song. And I'm like, no, dude, like this needs, like, you need to stand out and like do something totally crazy. And like I think he had already been thinking that, and it was just like that one little push. I feel like he really took his guitar playing in a new direction, and a lot of what you hear in this song is, to me, I feel like is kind of like an early indication of like where he's going. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of his pedal boards nowadays. It's he's got a lot of pedals. I do love his the experiment he's doing. So yeah, listen for those really cool guitar effects that Josh is doing. This is Deceptive Heart.
I won't let you consume me, so don't say you're sorry. I won't let you consume me. I know I'm not what you assume. This time I'm done with you. Left me not knowing what to say. Is it supposed to end this way? Securing a future.
That guitar is so good.
Lord, lead me through the blood. It tears me apart. Fix what's been destroyed, so I can restart.
That was Deceptive Heart. Now I remember when what did this debut on? I can't remember. Was it Alternate Press? Voices? I can't remember. I remember literally sitting down and waiting for like 2 hours for it to premiere. I'm sure it was on Alternative Press or something like that. I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, I think AP was Voices. I don't remember though.
Yeah,
It was a while.
it is a while ago. To be fair, I'd be very impressed. So this was the first single from the album, and in my opinion, easily one of your best. Is this up there for you, or?
Yeah, this song is strange. Like this song almost didn't even make it on the record. I remember it was demoed, and we had about half the lyrics set up, I believe, and I think it was something like with the chorus, like where we were like, man, this is too easy. Like it's almost I don't want to say generic, but it was just kind of like, okay, this could be really cliche if we don't do this properly, or like um, back it up with great lyrics, or support it in any way. Like this could not be very good. um, just being transparent here. Like obviously, like this is one of my favorite songs now, but I remember going into it. It was like, well, I don't know. Like, is this cliche? Like, I don't know. Like, we were just not sure. Um, so we spent a little bit of time. I remember like putting a lot of trying to beef up the lyrics here and really establish what we're trying to say, not just saying something for the sake of saying it. And I remember like we worked pretty hands on with Nick, our producer at the time here, and he I don't know. I think he put together like the melody for us or helped us out in finding that direction where to take it. And yeah, like this song was just going to be like a B-side, and then we were listening back to it, and like, dang, this is catchy, this is great. Like this is a dare I say a rock song, almost like a hard rock song. Like
Yeah,
this is
definitely.
the lighter, songs we putting out, and yeah, it almost didn't make it. And I just remember listening back and I'm like, this is really catchy, this is cool. And when we were filming our music videos, we were going to do this one, Voices, which is like our lighter song, and then we were going to do Deceptive Heart, which is like our heavier song. And the guy that was filming, David, who I had mentioned earlier, he was like, you guys should put Voices out first and have your audience assume that you decided to go like hard rock or soften up, and then get them talking, and then after that you put out Deceptive Heart and remind them like, no, like you're still Convictions, it's just a part of your sound now. So it was a little bit of like a PR strategy. But yeah, this song is so strange. Like I remember not sure how it was going to be received, if people just like maybe not want to mosh or sing along playing it live. And dude, this song hits hard live. I don't know what it is, but like when we play this live, I'm just like, this is awesome. I don't. It's got like a really cool jumpy thing in the beginning. And sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, not all. All I wanted to say is live. I think this has got one of like the best call outs and the best breakdowns. It's a very simple breakdown for you guys. There's not really any. There's not really any triplets on the bet. There's no like proper chugs. It's just very straightforward. Big shout from you, and then just a proper simple breakdown. I think it's great. I absolutely love this song. And if you've never heard this song, chat, let me know what you think. If you have any questions for Mike, I know you're all asking how he got that beard. He can't tell you; it's a secret. This is Voices. They Want Me Dead.
When will this ever end? All these voices in my head. I'm hanging by a thread. Listen to the relentless spirits that contemplate every thought. This ghost is a blast. I am the phantom of poet, the man that wears a mask and lights his back all emotions. I've grown to live with this self-doubt. So just breathe in now, just breathe in now. Breathe in. Your thoughts are only in your head, sublimating every word you say. Over and over again. God, will this ever end?
That's me singing, boy.
All these voices in
Yeah, I definitely have gotten a lot of
Yeah.
Devil Wears
Let's go through that as well, because it's something. I mean, I definitely can hear it. There's nothing wrong being inspired by one of the greats, in my opinion, which is what Micah Haneker is. But I wouldn't say There's parts like there on like your little those like high parts where I can hear similarities. But
Yeah,
is he a big inspiration to you?
it's super funny how that happened. Like, I definitely wasn't sure if I was gonna like talk about this because like I'm not trying to give away my craft, boy. But like, I, I used to like not like. So they've been around forever. I remember when they came out, I loved that band. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm trying to be seen and like get all into this, and then like, um, it like I think for like a short period of time, at least in the circle of friends that I was with, early 2000s, it was like not cool to like them. So I was like, uh, I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't listen to them. I should listen to more like hardcore stuff, which is what I ended up influencing a lot of my tone as a screamer. I like being like really shouty and punchy and raw sometimes. So I stopped listening to like music like Devil Wears Prada, and then we played this massive festival with them. And I remember like I wasn't like making fun of them, but I was just kind of like, dude, this is nuts, man. Like they're so big, and I was like, those vocals are nuts. And I was like, it kind of sounds like wow, and like
It does, yeah, it does.
And as I was like, I don't want to say mocking, but like mimicking it, I actually like found his tone, and I was like, oh, like I can do that, and I was like, that's kind of sweet. And then, I started like implementing that technique into some of the stuff I was doing, which is kind of what you hear on this record. But trying to like give it my own, personality, and obviously I'm not going to try and be somebody else, but
Yeah.
just like adding another technique in my wheelhouse, I guess, and I was grabbing from that for certain parts. I don't really do that too much anymore for our new material, but I thought it was fun to kind of play around with different types of screaming and stuff like that. And yeah, I think I had figured out how to do his tone by emulating it, and then really wanted to like put my my flavor on it. And someone said Mike Filker greater than Mike Veronica. No, that dude's sweet. If you listen to the older, like the Plagues album is sweet. That dude goes crazy on that album. Like his vocals are sweet.
Yeah, I agree. He is a monster, but I also definitely get like, especially like on the Plagues album, like some of those lower tones were kind of funny at the time when you first like not because they are one of my favorite bands of all time, but they were funny on the Plagues album. Those lows, like Hey John, what's your name again? After the breakdown and the cymbal hits, it's a funny sound.
Yeah, no, I like it's definitely grown on me, and like I don't know, I consider myself a fan. I think they're cool. Definitely not throwing shade by like mocking or mimicking it. It was just kind of an accident, and then I ended up really liking them afterwards. And then when they put out Dead Throne, I was like, this is sweet. So I'm trying.
I
want like Mammoth. Woo, that song hits.
Oh, Mammoth, what a tune. You see, this is why we deep dive, because you get such cool stories like this. Yeah, this is Voices That Want Me Dead.
So just breathe in now, just breathe in now. Breathe in. Just know you are not alone. You're so much stronger than you'll ever know. Over and over again. God will this ever end? When will this ever end? All these voices in my head, they want me dead, they want me dead. I'm hanging by a thread. When will this ever end? All the poison in my head, they want me dead, they want
Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
Was it all worth it? These years been a mess. Years not being
There's this punchy breakdown.
grow within me. Well, I've had enough, so shut up. So shut your mouth.
how simple that breakdown is. Sometimes less is more.
Definitely.
It's a lot of fun to play live. Chris gets it.
Chris does get it. He's a very wise man. I love that tune. I did really love, like you said, like it's kind of conviction stripped back, but straight to the point, simple, but just great. It's such a good tune. Up next, I think at the moment, should we say, this was kind of like your magnum opus, Hurricane. I think this track was, well, it is huge for you. Did it open more doors than the previous material for you guys?
Oh yeah, I think so. Really quick here. Would you mind if I stepped out for like a minute? I've been
absolutely not, man. You go for it.
Like literally like 1 minute. I just gotta run to the bathroom.
You go to the bathroom. We'll get some questions for you when you're back.
All right, I like the sound of that. Cool. I'll be right back.
Cool. Right, guys, can we have some questions for Mike? You have. Yes, it is Christopher. Yes. Also, thank you very much to, if anybody's new here that's come from the Convictions Facebook group, or a follow would mean the world. We do this with all types of different alternative music and bands. That's a great question, Ninja. I love it. So if you like what we do, I would love you to come back, because we've got a lot of, again, big episodes, big deep dives coming up. So if you're new and you're not followed, a follow would be amazing. So how was it working with Andrew Wade? Is there any more questions? Come on, we have to have more than one question for Mike when he comes back. Oh, the big guy, Zach himself. Shout out to Zach. How you doing, buddy? Favourite venue? I like that's a good question, Sam. So, we've got a few questions for you before we play. Zach's here. Hello, Zach. I put a song request in Discord. Excellent. I'll have a look at that. We'll be sure to get it on a future stream. So, how was it working with Andrew Wade, first of all?
Dude, insane. Not too sure where to start. So we had gone to him just to do with the one song, which was Hurricane. We were just gonna kind of put out this one song with our new vocalist, just to kind of like hold us over between albums, and we weren't really sure what to expect. It was kind of like a trial thing, and honestly, like, he changed our band for the better. I'm blown away. He basically like challenged us on like what we like want to say with our music, I think, and what it means to us. Like, it was just like this whole like redefining experience, I like, to put it lightly. We I don't know, man. It's like, I don't want to like boost this dude's ego any more than it needs to be, but like, it was like meeting a genius or something. Like, it was just kind of this, I don't know, like any idea that I had like going into writing Hurricane, like I'd be like, oh, well, what if we went here and did this? He had already thought of that idea, and then thought of like 12 or more ideas on like how to make it even better, or change that idea that I had come up with and not told anybody about. It was like literally talking to a genius. I don't know how else to describe it.
I love it. What else have we got? We've got some great. Oh, favorite venue. Your favorite venue for Convictions to play anywhere in the world.
Oh man. Um, I don't know. That's tough. It's like a venue, and then like the crowd like should go hand in hand. Like a venue could be sweet, but if there's nobody in it, like what's
Very true. Very true.
Um,
Let's go with your favorite crowd then. Is it a hometown crowd, or is it Germany? Because it's normally Germany. Because those guys are mental.
whew. um, our hometown shows are they don't I don't know they feel really different. The last few times we played were really like incredible. Like I want to say like we sold out the last time we played, and like this isn't like a big venue. Like this is like 200 to 300 people like stuffed in like a bedroom size venue. Like it's so intimate and real. And what's cool is like having family or like coworkers or like high school friends there and stuff like that. It makes it way different. Um, it's kind of cool to like have people that you know on a personal level like see you in a different light, and I don't know, kind of like understand like who you really are in a way. So there's nothing that's going to compare to that. However, playing outside of that, I don't know. There's Texas, which is like really cool. It feels like another hometown for us. Um, like especially Dallas, Denver, Colorado. That's where Zach lives now. So playing there feels like almost like a hometown. I love playing in like LA, just for the sake it's LA. Like it just feels like I'm some big shot or something. um, but I think the craziest crowd we've ever done outside of like Europe would be Russia. That was
Oh, I don't doubt that at all. I've heard some crazy stories.
my favorite. I think as far as just like shock value, as far as like whoa, like these people like really know who we are and they are really about it. Like this is, and we don't really communicate with the Russian audience because it's they don't have like Facebook and stuff like we do, so it's
Yeah.
not the same.
Yeah. So before we talk about Hurricane, there's a good question. Where is that gone? Yeah, there we go. What has inspired the new album's direction lyrically and musically? I mean, I think you touched base a little bit what like the themes of the new album, but
One more time. So I'm trying to pull up there.
what has inspired the new album's direction lyrically and musically?
So I guess this is going to be the first time I'm talking about this, and it's a little premature. Because we haven't announced a new record or anything or release. I want to say, all that we've announced is our new single coming out next Friday.
Yep, let's go with new single then. The writing for there is no album. Wink,
I definitely would love to get back on here and talk to you in the future if you don't mind.
Dude, if you've got time, I would be more than honoured to do a full deep dive of the new record, quotation marks.
Well, definitely not on tour, so I got plenty of time.
Unfortunately, that is the great thing about Twitch at the moment. It's kind of filling the gap for a lot of musicians and bands and fans especially. So it's a bit of a lifesaver at the moment. So if you've got the time, I would love you, even all the guys, to come on. Would be an absolute dream come true.
Oh yeah, especially if Zach's still here. He's definitely really good with these things. So the new direction. So a lot of Hope for the Broken, I would say like it's in its entirety is written from like a self perspective. Like all the material I've pretty much written before this new material is written from like a personal story or experience. So going to Andrew, it was just kind of like this, okay, we really got to flip the script. We really got to do something different here. I think he definitely brought that out of us, and I started thinking of new ways to approach writing and the message and how I want to, try and, I don't know, flesh out our new direction. So I thought it'd be really cool to start sharing people's stories, and trying to write outside of myself and trying to put myself in other people's shoes and to emphasize with their stories and situations. So hurricane is the first step in that direction. We had a buddy of ours named Ray who was filling in for us, but after John had left, and we had gotten to tour with him quite a bit and get to know him. Great guy, and he had shared a story about how he had lost his mother and had struggled with some substance abuse with like medications and stuff. So I thought it was really interesting. Like I hadn't gone through anything like that. I'm fortunate enough I haven't had my parents, anything happen to my direct family members. So I really wanted to try and understand and step into this person's shoes. So basically what I did was conduct like an interview. I had a list of questions and I kind of did a little sit down and really try to flesh out what he was feeling and thinking and being in his shoes and situation. And yeah, that was the the foundation of what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to play Hurricane. We'll just say a few words about Hurricane, and then just before finishing the stream, we're going to play the teaser for the brand new single to get you hyped. That's out on the 12th, isn't it, Mike? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So next Friday. Exciting times to be a Convictions fan. Hopefully we've got a lot of new Convictions fans from the stream, so you really have become a fan at the best time. This is the absolute colossal Hurricane. You want to touch base on that before we play it, Mike?
Yeah, fun story. Not to hold you up too long. Hurricane is our first song recorded with Andrew Wade, and we have our next single coming out, which all our future work, pretty much, as far as I know, will be with Andrew Wade. This is our first experience with him. This is a single about our good friend named Ray, who lost his mother and had struggled dealing with that. There is a lot of analogies like with water and storms, and the irony of it is we recorded this in Florida, and there was in Florida there was a massive hurricane. I think it was called Hurricane Michael, I believe. It's ironic, but we were recording a song in a hurricane. Hurricane has the same name as me, and we almost had to cancel the whole trip altogether just because it was so bad. So yeah, a little tidbit.
There we go. This is Hurricane.
I think I'm lost in this hurricane. I'll never find my way. I'll never find my way.
My lungs collapse. I can tell I can breathe.
16 years is not enough. Time will pass, but I feel your love. It's still inside me. Still inside me. Torrential rains have swept you up. You always told me I could trust. You're still beside me.
I know you do, Lisa.
Still beside me.
Every dream is falling short, and the bills they never left. It's all the same. It's all the same, and I'm still here without you.
I think I'm lost in this hurricane. I'll never find my way. I'll never find my way. Where to find God? Just look at the mess I made. I've been swept away. My life's a hurricane.
I just say from the wreckage, the aftermath of my past. The catalyst.
I love all the love for this song.
Yeah, too little. Really cool on here.
I think I'm
There we go. That is the absolute masterpiece, Hurricane. Danielle has been a great addition. I agree. He is incredible on all fronts. So it's got to the time.
You embrace your demon!
Oh, didn't mean to play it that soon, but there we go. That was 2 seconds of what you're going to get. The Price of Grace, Mike. Let's do like a Hot Ones little clip. 30 seconds. What can they expect from Price of Grace out next Friday?
Oh man. So this is the first time I'm talking about this publicly. I have plans to really dive into this, but shoot, where to start? So, okay, a little backstory here. You heard it first. we had. Oh, man, I gotta like change tones here. This is serious. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Okay, so this song is about a friend of ours who was a fan. His name's CJ. He had met us on tour years back, and him and I actually became like pretty cool like friends after this. But yeah, he would travel around a lot and see us play all over. And Zach says I can't. Oh, Zach wants me to say it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm like trying to be reserved here because I'm like, oh, geez,
Can I just say, very professional. I'm very impressed. Zach says, spit it out, Mike.
Yeah, well, I'm like stumbling on my words because like I know like Zach's probably watching and he's gonna be like, dude, you're not supposed to talk about this. This isn't out yet. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna tell you guys about it. So the song's about my friend CJ, who was a fan. I had met him on tour. He's super cool guy. He'd come out and see us play all over the country, and he says, "True, this is serious." CJ's super cool. He's kind of like one of those guys like you'd meet and you'd be like, dude, like I feel like I've known you for a long time. Like seems like dude you'd be hanging out with a lot. So CJ and I kind of hit it off, and then he started coming to see us all over the country because I think he was like traveling with the military or something. But anyway, he ended up bringing a buddy of his named Travis, and him and Travis would come out and see us play a lot. And wait, Zach said, I know you don't want to give away too much, but you have my blessing. Okay.
And then he does a zip lip emoji.
So, yeah, so CJ would bring his buddy Travis, and Travis is super nice, really cool guy. Didn't really talk too much though. He's kind of reserved. And basically, I got this call. I got this call from CJ while we were between tours, and he had told me that Travis had passed away. Travis had taken his life, and it just kind of, I didn't really know how to handle it. Obviously, I was like really shocked and upset by it, but I don't know. I hadn't really dealt with something like that, or had a friend or somebody that I'd known like that. I don't know. It just totally like messed me up. So I felt like this guy deserves some kind of light. So I wanted to talk about him on tour, and I would do that. I would tell his story, just like we're doing now, about how this dude was like super cool, but really quiet and reserved. And you could tell like it almost looked like he had a lot to say, but he just kind of kept it to himself, And maybe he didn't feel like he had the opportunity to share his struggles and to be open, or maybe he didn't have that person to turn to. And what's sad about it is like CJ and him were so close, and CJ's handling this grief, and I just really wanted to kind of share CJ's side of it with his stages of grief. So this whole song, "The Price of Grace," basically goes step by step through CJ hearing about what had happened to his best friend, and basically going through the 5 stages of grief. And we just kind of play it out like a real story. I mean, like it is a real story, but like telling it step by step, like him receiving the phone call, him trying to understand like what his friend was going through and the whole situation, and then what had happened, and then his anger towards God and the situation, and how to find some sort of solace through it. So the song "Price of Grace" is a true story, and I had done an interview just like I did with Hurricane. I done an interview with CJ over the phone throughout this whole 2020 COVID situation, and I had a lot of time to sit with it. So it's challenging because it's such a sensitive subject, and the wounds are still really fresh for CJ. But I got to take my hats off for CJ. He was really strong and open about the whole situation and gave us a lot of details that he didn't have to do. So it's definitely a big learning process of like understanding grief and what it can do, and trying to put that into a song and trying to retell his story properly. And there's a lot of weight to that, and I wanted to do it right. So luckily with 2020, a good part of that was being able to have the time to sit with him and to talk with him over this whole year, really. And then we put it into The Price of Grace. So this is a small clip of what you'll hear is there's a tagline where I say, "You deserve to survive," and that's literally what it means. It's just CJ calling out to Travis, saying like, "You deserve to survive." And there's another, like, "You embrace your demons but turn to suicide." It's literally that. It's pretty much face value.
Yeah. Firstly, I really want to say thanks to and appreciate, obviously, you and Zach. You didn't have to tell us that, and I appreciate that massively. And again, just the respect for you guys for writing such a hard subject, but it's kind of what bands have to do, I think, is write about these, tragic things that, unfortunately, at the moment, a lot of people are going to go through. So
yeah, apologize for some words a bunch on this. This is kind of a little bit of a touchy subject, and trying to
definitely
be respectful and talk about it appropriately.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you sharing that and allowing me to have this platform, and I know that there's a lot of other CJs and Travises out there that are going through these. I feel you're right. Like, it is a bit of a responsibility artists have to share certain stories like this.
Yeah. So massive respect to you, and again, thanks so much for, first of all, for coming and spending time on my little old stream to talk about your band. So here we go, everyone. This is 19 seconds of The Price of Grace. This is out next Friday. Hope you enjoy.
You embrace your demons and gave in to suicide. You deserve to survive. You embrace your demons and gave
One more
in
time.
to suicide. You deserve to survive.
And just on a musical standpoint, you hear just in that little clip Josh's new kind of guitar work. There's the slides there, and that is going to be, especially with that little insight you've given into it, and that is, I think, obviously anyone that's been in this stream that's going to listen to it, we've kind of got the benefit of knowing that now, and you can kind of maybe listen to it a different way. So again, I just want to thank you so much, dude, for coming here. Like I said, if you boys ever want to come on again and do a full deep dive of the next release, even the track, I would be honoured.
Our new single comes out next week, February 12th. So if you wanna hop on a call, I'd love to. This was a lot of fun for me, and it's good catching up with you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. That is the Conviction special. I'll be back with another stream soon, and obviously Michael and maybe the other boys will be back soon as well. So thank you so much for your time, and you take care.